Don't touch that, Larry. Larry, don't touch that. Larry! What'd I just say, Larry? We're gonna need more barbarians.
Did someone say hog rider?
Yeah!
No, barbarians.
Hog rider?
Barbarians.
Oh, I thought you said hog rider.
The Headhunter paired with a hefty dose of Hog Riders might just be a new, powerful attack strategy for Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13. Hope you all are doing well. Bisectatron here, bringing you today's video, and we are discussing just that, the new troop, the Headhunter, and how it can be used with the mass Hog Rider attack strategy to triple some 12s and some 13s. Something that I saw right away as a great use of the Headhunter. So we're going to focus on that in today's video using some replays from Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13. Talk about how to use it and how to possibly defend against it. I'm going to be covering on my channel the Headhunter and the other new super troops as well, and how to use them and how to defend against them. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. Let's get into the details of this attack strategy. What I am doing right here at Town Hall 12 is I'm putting a battle blimp with some Yetis in a rage. I'm using that to take out the top part of the base here. Used my King and Queen to take out the bottom part of the base. There was no CC troops, so I didn't have to poison anything. And then that makes the pathing narrow enough to send in these Hog Riders with 4 heals, a couple freezes, and then just keep them going through the base. The defensive Queen is over on the other side there, so I'm going to deploy the Headhunters behind the Hog Riders. I kind of forgot about them a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. The Queen will not kill the Hog Riders that fast, so here they come. Kind of forgot, still getting used to deploying them. Queen, I went ahead and used my poison on her, but you'll see how fast these Headhunters are going to take down the defensive Queen. As soon as they lock on, she can't even take out one of them. And you can see that they can survive about 1 shot from the Queen. The second shot is going to kill them. So ideally, the Queen is going to be locked onto your Hog Riders as they approach. But as long as they engage her before she starts shooting at them, it's a pretty safe bet they're going to get her taken out very quickly and without much of a chance of anything going wrong. So we will take a look at several more replays of these Headhunters in the Hogs in action. So here we go with this next base. You can see that I'm using my King down at 6 o'clock to just kind of enter into the base and clear out a little bit of those bottom defenses. A big thing for Town Hall 12, mass Hog Rider attack strategy, or any Town Hall level where you're bringing a big dose of hogs, you need to narrow down the pathing a little bit by clipping out some defenses, especially if you need your hogs to path into the core where there's a lot of buildings that are extremely valuable, like the Town Hall, the Eagle, those Inferno Towers. And yeah, these are, somewhat of farming bases. We're going to see a combination of them and some anti-3-star bases. These are from some multiplayer attacks, and I'll be sure to give you guys some more attacks as we see them. We're still very early though, just wanted to experiment with a few things here. And you can see that in the last attack, and you'll see in this one as well, that this attack is doing very well against these Town Hall 12 bases. Granted, there's no CC troops. I think a poison spell can deal with most of the CC troops that would be harmful to hogs, besides the dragon. Here come the Headhunters locking onto the Queen, and she goes down very, very quickly. You can see doesn't stand much of a chance against those Headhunters. Then they'll continue through the base and just start taking out these regular buildings. And they'll take out skeleton traps too, should they pop in their vicinity. So anyway, the tornado unfortunately pulled all my hogs to the Eagle instead of to the Town Hall. So the Town Hall was about to go down. It didn't, because the hogs got pulled away. The Headhunters actually locked onto the Town Hall and did a significant amount of damage to help out those hogs, which was very nice there. They're going to get a little bit depleted towards the end, but there'll be enough to kind of move through and take out the rest of this base. If you guys are familiar with Town Hall 12, you know that this was a somewhat of a fringe attack strategy. We see it a little bit here and there. The main issue is that you have to bring 1 to 2 skeleton spells previously to kill the defensive queen and possibly other heroes like the king. However, with this new addition of the Headhunter troop, you don't need to bring those skeleton spells, which were not that reliable to begin with. Now you have the benefit of a troop that can reliably take out the defensive heroes. And that is something that's really going to make this a much, I think, more viable attack strategy for this Town Hall level. So anyway, this is going to clean up here. We will fast forward to the end. One more Town Hall 12 attack, and we'll switch gears and take a look at some Town Hall 13 attacks. This last one here, you can see we're coming in towards the Town Hall, Sui the heroes there. Not a requirement, and oftentimes it's better to go for an Inferno Tower and an area that has a lot of expos and wizard towers, because oftentimes the Town Hall doesn't have much value around it. But in this case, several other defenses can be taken out at the same time, and it also is going to help carve out some path in here for the Hog Riders. So we're going to go ahead and send in the Battle Blimp, which I'm a big fan of using to help narrow down the base. Some people might use a Siege Barracks with some hogs in it, but the advantage of using the Battle Blimp is you can target an Inferno Tower directly, get it taken out, and really help narrow down the pathing and take out a very difficult building, defensive building for those Hog Riders to deal with. So here come the hogs, starting with a 2-finger deployment and just kind of reinforcing around the base here. First heal spell is down, more hogs coming from the top, and we'll see here come the Headhunters. That's when you want to deploy them, about that timing. Went ahead and froze the queen, missed the eagle unfortunately. Headhunters come in, they lock onto the queen, she has no chance. You probably don't even need all 3 of them. I bring 3 just to be safe and just to kind of show the troop off in this video, but you could probably get away with 2 or even 1 in some situations if the queen doesn't lock onto it right away. You should be fine. They slow the queen down a lot, and that is kind of one of the main benefits of the troop. So anyway, the hogs come through, an extra heal spell for those last few buildings. Once again, just crush this base. And yep, it's unfortunate we're not seeing a lot of CC troops, guys. If the CC troops are not dealt with by your heroes when you deploy your king and queen, that poison spell will typically be enough. And also the Headhunter, if the heroes are both taken out, they'll typically switch on like any normal troop that has no target preference, like a wizard, for example, is the best comparison. They'll switch and target the defensive CC troops if they aggro them, if they're in the area. So depending on the situation, they can be used to help take out dragons or other CC troops that might not go down to the poison spell. But generally speaking, the CC is not going to be too much of an issue. So yeah, a few Town Hall 13s now. Town Hall 13 a little trickier because you have the scatter shot. The Royal Champion actually functions a little bit like the Headhunter in a sense, because she could previously have been used to follow the hogs into the base, and then she switches gears and will target defensive heroes if they start hurting your hogs. But the benefit is you can now free her up to take out other parts of the base, and that allows you to take out parts of the base that would be a big obstacle for your hogs, and you just use the Headhunters with the hogs to take out the defensive heroes. This base I thought actually could have been tripled. It's not going to, as you see in this attack, if the queen went in there and took out the Town Hall. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. This was one of my first attacks using the Headhunters, so I was a little bit not sure how to deploy everything. Went ahead and just sent these hogs in. I'm going to go ahead and start dropping my spells now. Scatter Shot definitely can do some work on your hogs if you don't get it frozen. CC troops come out, just a poison for them. The P.E.K.K.A. is definitely tough in there, along with, looks like a Yeti was in there as well. The Battle Blimp should have been used otherwise. So this was kind of a disorganized attack, but actually gets pretty far into the base here, and you'll see that most of the defenses are going to go down besides that last compartment here. So I think if I could have re-attacked this base, I probably could have tripled it, to be honest. If I was able to get my queen to take out the town hall with a little bit better funneling, then using my Battle Blimp to get some more value, maybe take out the eagle in that compartment and kind of narrow down the pathing for the hogs a little bit. But you'll see things kind of peter out, sending the Royal Champion late to take out the town hall, which is sometimes a good plan if you are afraid your attack won't take out the town hall to save your Royal Champion. So let's take a look at a few bases where this did work. These are kind of more of your standard bases that you'll see in your clan war leagues. Maybe not the cutting edge anti 3-star bases. There might be a little bit under leveled at certain defenses I don't think are maxed on this base, but these are somewhat common bases, and you'll see that this strategy can deal with them very well, as you would expect a solid attack strategy to do. You can probably triple it with several different strategies, this just being one of them. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and send in the king and queen. The queen is going to go in there and deal with that scatter shot. Mostly what I think is the best way to do this at Town Hall 13 is to try to take out the scatter shots, if you can, at least one of them, with your king and queen, or your Royal Champion. Just kind of suey those 3 heroes wherever the value is, and typically that's going to be taking out scatter shots ahead of time, and also narrowing the pathing of the base. Then you send in the Hog Riders with the Warden, and then with those Headhunters delayed a little bit. There's the Headhunters coming in. I forgot to actually deploy one, as you can see. Well, I think I did just then. Anyway, the Hog's coming through, and the Town Hall is about to activate as we get to 50%, something you got to be aware of. And a little bit of a delay once again. This was on a previous attack as well. Town Hall not activating right at 50%, which was a little bit unusual, I thought. The Headhunters got all the way through, took out the defensive Royal Champion as well, which was very helpful. Used the Warden's ability because he was about to get taken out by the Town Hall, and as a result, the Hogs are going to hit that explosion towards the end there, but they're in the heal spell, they won't die from it, and there are plenty of Hogs left up for cleanup. So we'll take a look at one more attack and we'll wrap this up. So I actually had a couple other 3-star attacks, but I wanted to show this one because this was definitely one of the closest bases to being maxed out. I think this base might be completely maxed out, and this was actually a very close attack. Almost got the triple. We'll see what went wrong and what could have been changed, but this kind of shows, I think, a great way to use this strategy. We're using the queen to take out one of those scatter shots. We're using the Battle Blimp with the Yetis to take out the eagle. Then we're going to use the king to tank the other scatter shot as the Hogs begin to be deployed. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. There's going to be these 3 defenses, kind of, at least those 2 defenses, awkwardly still up, but not a big deal. You can see the combination of the queen, the Royal Champion, and the Battle Blimp got a ton of value on the right side of the base, and often on these ring bases, you can get some great value with just those couple operations separate from your main push and your attack. So the king tanks the scatter shot initially, then we're going to go ahead and freeze it to prevent it from doing too much harm to our Hogs. Nothing to really go straight at the Town Hall here. That's one of the only issues with this attack, which is why it wasn't able to quite take out the entire base. You can see the Hogs moving through here. In come the Headhunters, dropping them down right there, take out the Royal Champion, no problem at all. Another 2 to come in there and take out the Queen, and I think the previous 2 were still alive and they already started taking down the Queen. Royal Champion got targeted right here. Had I not had to use the Royal Champs, or sorry, not the Royal Champion, had I not had to use the Grand Warden's ability, this might have tripled. The problem was he was the closest thing to those Inferno Towers, so I had to hit his ability much earlier than I would have liked to. Otherwise, I would have used my freeze and tried to use the ability over the Town Hall. So there's still like 20-25 Hogs left up, but they take down the Town Hall and the explosion kills them all. So that's one of the downsides. If your Hogs are going in a big circle, the Royal Champion tends to be a little bit lazy, takes the Hypotenuse, gets targeted by the inner core buildings, and has to have his tome hit much earlier than we would have liked. So, almost worked on this base. Just kind of shows that the strategy can be pretty powerful, especially against some of these bases that otherwise are kind of difficult with more traditional attack strategies in Town Hall 13. Anyway, just some preliminary stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll be sure to cover how to use all the new stuff in the update because there's quite a bit to think about at these new Town Hall levels. We have the lightning spell, which I'm very excited to play around with. You guys will probably see that on the channel as well. That all being said, thanks for watching, guys.